We are the DFPN. Always question the answers.
No Gimmicks Podcast, and we bring it to you. Every time we turn live, man, you know it's the truth. Every after show, moving down, this the time we move around. No Gimmicks Podcast is going down. Every night, every time in the ring, this is the time for the No Gimmicks, no we doing our thing. What's your state of mind, state of mind? Moving down a statement when we take the line. This is exactly wrestling the state design. When you see Stone Cold like me, with the stunner in the world, exactly, man, what we bring. Every night we move like Brock Lesnar, the F5, no gimmicks. We take you to your limit, what's the feeling? When we live in the air, you know we on, this the time. Guarantee we move, you know how we respond. The state is mine, the state design when we feel it. Moving down, what's the healing? No gimmicks is the feeling.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. You know what it is. It's WrestleMania week. One of the slowest builds to a WrestleMania. We're here to talk about it, though. Myself, my co-host, Mr. D. Vader from D. Vader Cosplay. What's up, buddy? Welcome back.
Hey,
First of all, happy anniversary. We didn't get to talk in person, so happy anniversary to you. Hope you guys did it big last week. Congratulations.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. We basically did it big by sitting at home and watching sitting at home and having some takeout Chinese, which was fucking fantastic, and a couple of drinks, and watched an episode of Skeleton Crew.
Nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, not at all.
Sometimes that's the best shit in the world, bro.
It's just, really, honestly, bro, like, didn't want to go out, didn't want to like really do anything too, extravagant. We just did that, and that was pretty much it, bro. And watch the Skeleton Crew. Kind of, it's okay. It's a little kid show, pretty much. It's kind of slow, but it was what it was. It was cool. I had a good time, so I ain't complaining.
That's good, man. I was gonna ask you how because I haven't watched it yet. How was it? But
I only watched one episode.
Fair enough.
And I tried to have, I had the liquor in me, so I was like, listen, I can continue to watch this, or I can go and watch something else.
Yep.
I went right to the WCW channel.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that, but I'm glad you had a good anniversary. Welcome back. Some things happened while you're away, but we got Mania coming up. List got dropped. We're here to talk about it.
Right.
This one's all about WWE, man. So let's jump into the show. Let's cover this WWE because it is WrestleMania week. All right, so the WWE has been dropping a bunch of matches on their Vault channel, to which they made a list of their greatest WrestleMania matches. To that point, the WWE has determined that their greatest match in WrestleMania history is WrestleMania 25's match between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. I'm not mad at that. What I am mad at is the rest of that list. So, What are your thoughts first on the Vault, and then second, how they rank these matches?
I mean, when you take a look at that list, and we're going to go through that list, but they had a lot of bangers on that list. There was a lot of matches on there that I had forgot about, that I was like, damn, that was actually pretty good. Yeah. So, and I've been following it on, as you mentioned, the Vault channel, their Vault channel. I've been following it, and they've been posting them. They had, first one was sponsored by Minecraft, which is killing it at the box office right now. That's just crazy.
Yep.
There was a lot of people out there, a lot of insiders that said that Minecraft was going to flop big time and nobody was going to watch that shit. Okay, well, I guess you're fucking wrong.
You're wrong as fuck, bro.
Yeah,
Kids love
Kids
love
and,
Minecraft.
and another movie that's out real quick that people are flocking to see is the re-release of Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. That comes out next week. And so yeah, that's crazy. But to say that, the reason I brought the movies up is because the first one was sponsored by Minecraft. The most recent list was sponsored by Sinners, the Michael B. Jordan film that has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which Rotten Tomatoes ain't shit, but 100%.
100% means something though.
Yeah, 100% nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a list that's been, curated obviously by World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yep.
And they went through their history and they said these are the top matches of our history. So all I can do is respect it. I take it a little bit more legitimately than I would say a BET putting a list together.
I agree with that, but also let's go over the top 10 real quick. So at 10, you got Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, WrestleMania 35. This match, it's hard to be mad at any of these matches, but this match, I get why it's in the top 10. I just don't know if it's better than some of these matches that's on the list.
No, that wouldn't have been in my top 10.
No, it wouldn't have been in my top 10. I get why they put it there because it was the first women's main event to a WrestleMania. And it was at that time, it was a big deal. So I get why they put it in there, but you have some bangers behind it that, like, man, I don't understand why they didn't make it. You know what I mean? So at 9, you got Ultimate Warrior Randy Savage. 8, Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3. 7, Dudley's versus Hardy versus Edge and Christian at WrestleMania 17. 6, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. 5, Rock versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 17. 4, Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3. At number 3, Rock versus Hogan at WrestleMania 18. 2, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13. And number 1 is obviously Undertaker versus Shawn. I would have rearranged this, but I'm not mad at it.
The Dudley Boys, Edge, Christian, Hardy Boys should have been higher on that list. Like,
most definitely, definitely.
I mean, come on, man. Like, no, that should be higher on the list. Hogan versus Rock, I agree with that because that match right there kind of showed that Hulkamania was still alive and kicking.
Yeah. That one I agree with.
Yeah, so it kind of showed that. I actually agree with number 1 being Shawn and Undertaker.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not mad at that. That one I'm really not mad at. But you have, so in my mind, Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan should be in the top 3. Unless this is subject, right? If it's subjective, if it's a subjective argument, like which match was the most entertaining? Okay, then this list kind of makes sense. I still will rearrange some, but if we're going off entertainment value, I get that. But in terms of what it did for the WWE, that match is a top 3, maybe top 2 match of all time for what it did for WWE.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Just like I'm looking here, because I actually have to bring the list up here. So I'm looking here at number 15, Ultimate Warrior versus Hogan.
Yep. WrestleMania 6.
WrestleMania 6. That should be higher up on the list.
Yes.
Because it was probably one of Warrior's best matches he ever had.
Yep.
And that match was a defining moment because it was the proverbial passing of the torch from Hogan to the Warrior.
Yep.
To see if they could make it without Hulkamania, and they proved that they could not because they had nothing set up for the Ultimate Warrior. after the title win.
Nope.
And Hogan kind of knew they was going to flop because some guys get it and some guys don't get it.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree with that. I would have had Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels higher on this list too, from WrestleMania 12.
Yeah.
That Iron Man match was fucking crazy, bro. I would have had that way higher on the list. There's some things. Razor versus Shawn, I would have had that higher. That probably would have been in my top 10.
Hogan versus Savage, WrestleMania 5 should have been higher on this list. The Mega Powers explode. Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair's last
retirement match. Oh, hell
should have been
yeah.
higher up on the list. See here. I mean, the very first main event of WrestleMania should have been higher up on that list. There's a lot of it. A lot of this other shit though, they can keep where it's at. It's just key moments.
Some of these don't need to be on here. I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna be frank. Like Sting versus Triple H. I wouldn't have had that in my top 50.
I don't like that there. No. Well, I don't like it either for the fact that of the outcome of that.
Yeah.
But since you just brought him up, Trips, just remember people listening to the show right now. Okay, from recent interview that the man did. Triple H doesn't need the internet anymore. He doesn't need the IWC anymore. For years he catered to the IWC with NXT and everything he was doing, and now that they're on this run right now, he's showing the Triple H that I always knew was there. He's showing himself now. He's showing his ass is what he's doing. Because they're on such a roll right now, and the internet wrestling fans, the podcasters don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and all this shit. And I'm like, bro, this is the worst WrestleMania build I've ever seen. And this goes back to something we were talking about offline real quick. Goes back to WrestleMania the Spectacle. If you guys out there listening to my voice or watching us right now on YouTube, by the way, thank you very much for all the subscribers on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button. Here's the deal. WrestleMania 9 Spectacle on Peacock showed the entire behind the scenes of how WrestleMania 9 came about. I would highly encourage you, if you have Peacock, to watch this thing. It is a spectacle. It's not a spectacle, but it's a spectacle, and it shows you the difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon knew how to promote and make this thing a big deal, larger than life. There is nothing about this show coming up that says, I have to see this. Like, this is must see. This is, compare this to last year's WrestleMania. And I'm gonna bring something up right quick because I was actually thinking about this the other day. And I think this is what it comes down to. Okay. So when you think about WrestleMania, one of the big things for WrestleMania for many, many years was the Undertaker's streak. Who was going to wrestle Taker? Who was going to end the streak?
Yeah, who had
who could do it? Okay. So we looked forward to that every single year. Who the Undertaker was going to wrestle. And
that was a bonus to everything else.
It was. It was like, that was one of the big reasons to watch Mania.
Yeah.
So when they ended the streak, that kind of killed the momentum a little bit of WrestleMania because, like, okay, we have nothing else to go for. Fast forward to last year. What was it about? Cody Rhodes finishing his story. Roman Reigns. Is Roman going to drop the belt this year or is he going to drop it at WrestleMania 41? They finished the story. You finished Mania. Because now there's nothing to look forward to now at all. You can't say you look forward to the Royal Rumble anymore because that don't mean shit.
They killed that.
You've proven that. So there's nothing here. I'm sorry. Yeah, the heel John Cena thing, that's cool. But is that like, damn, I got to go watch that and see what happens.
Right.
No,
there's no spectacle. Right.
No, there's no spectacle. There's no pageantry. I don't give a damn how great the set looks. The show leading up to this has been horribly booked. But wait, what the hell do I know? So, Triple H doesn't need my opinion because
you're
they're on
just
top.
an
They're
internet
on
guy.
top of the world right now. Yeah, they're on top. They're on top of the world right now. So he doesn't need our opinion. He says, "What the hell do they know?" I hear it all the time. Oh, Cody's not over. We're in an arena with 20,000 people. Okay. So just because 20,000 people are cheering their ass off in the building, what is that doing for your numbers?
Right.
And by the way, your shit's
Your
inflated
numbers.
anyways with the fact that you're price gouging your damn fans.
Yep. And that's the thing that comes up the most. We're breaking records. We're selling out. We're doing this. We're doing that. But if you look at it, and one of the things that he cleverly pointed to was the fact that he was like, well, people are going to say WrestleMania didn't sell out, and they'll look at it as a failure. I don't look at WrestleMania as a failure. It's not a failure because anytime you can bring in that many people for 2 straight nights of wrestling in the same venue, you're doing something good. It's actually a good thing. But you can get way more people in there excited to see the brand if the prices wasn't high.
Well, yeah, that's one
You
of the
can
things
sell
that,
it out if the prices weren't high.
Well, that's one of the things that Basil DeVito, who used to be a WWE executive, he's in his documentary. He talked about how he used to scale the venues, and the tickets prices. The highest ticket for WrestleMania 9 was $250. The second highest was $150. And then it went from $150 to $100, then $50, and then $25. They always had standard $25 ticket. That's what they had.
That's crazy.
You don't see that nowadays.
No,
the way Vince is right now, Vince McMahon would never have allowed this to happen.
Bro, the cheapest ticket in the nosebleed, section 408, row 12 is the cheapest ticket. You know how much that shit is? $500.
Oh, probably. Yeah, that's absolutely. And I would.
That's
refuse.
Crazy.
I refuse.
That's crazy.
No.
I'm not lying. That shit is $500.
Oh, I believe you.
And I was like, bro, hell no. Because even then, I'm like, I'm in Vegas. Maybe I could look, see what the cheapest shit is. I don't care if I'm in the nosebleeds, I'm in the building. That's fine. Right. But I looked up and I was like, fuck that, bro. I'm not doing that. For nosebleeds, you out your ass.
No, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And that's why you're breaking records, because people will pay that shit. So as long as people are going to pay that shit, that's what you're going to continue to get. Okay.
I would take my happy ass to a watch party.
Pretty much.
Gladly, I will go to a watch party in Vegas.
I'm not doing any more dome shows. I've done that shit.
Yeah,
I did that at the Royal Rumble here at the Alamo Dome, and it was not comfortable.
No, I did that one with you, and I did Mania 38 in Texas Stadium. Texas Stadium is a little more comfortable, but it was still packed and people were moving around. That's why I'm like, I'm damn sure not paying that much for a nosebleed seats because people move the fuck around entirely too much, bro. Right. It's just constant movement, and that's what I found myself at WrestleMania 38. I'm like, dude, it's hard for me to enjoy this shit because every 5 seconds I gotta move and let a motherfucker out the road that's in the middle of this motherfucker, and then he's gonna come back. We gotta do it again, and then somebody else's kids gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck this. Damn. That's why when I go somewhere, bro, I'm in the front row.
Yeah,
because, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, excuse me. Every 5 minutes, like, damn, can't you hold your liquids? Shit. Get a piss jug.
Yep, and even front row tickets, you might as well. You need to hit the lottery to get them shits.
That's funny that Triple H says. What did he say? He said that. Yeah, you have all these podcasters and you have all these old timers that do podcasts. Okay, Bruce Pritchard does podcasts.
Yep,
JBL does podcasts. He actually took over Pritchard's podcast for the time being.
Taker does a podcast.
Taker does podcasts. Your boy Kevin Nash does a podcast. Jeff Jarrett does a podcast. So what the hell are you talking about, Trips? Your damn wife did a podcast. So what the hell are you talking about? Out there, talking about it. They're talking about how there's no kayfabe in the business, but yet you're talking about non-kayfabe things. But then you're complaining about no kayfabe in the business. Genius. Wow, no trips. weren't you the fucker that was on Raw back in January on Netflix talking about how this is a story
Yep.
and there are no heels or baby faces and all that?
Yep.
Once again, like I said before, he's showing his ass now because they're on top. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I say he's a snake. That's how I look at him. That's what he is, and that is what it is. He's showing you. Okay, he's letting you know. I don't give a shit about your opinion. I'm not going to deviate from what I'm doing because I don't give a damn about what you think. That's what basically he's telling you.
How far off is that from Vince's thought, though? The only thing he's doing is he's just booking different.
They live in a delusional bubble, is what they do. And that's the reason why they are where they are right now. You could have all this momentum in the world, but the quality of the shows is shit. I don't give a damn what anybody says. You're not holding my attention with this at all.
Yeah.
Period. And this
No,
is where
and it's showing in the numbers, man.
that's what I'm saying. You've been on Netflix since January. Have you grown much since January? No, you have not. SmackDown has actually decreased in the numbers. Raw actually has decreased. So you're not drawing shit. So you're telling me the justification is, well, they're saying that Cody Rhodes isn't over. And I'm like, I'm in there with, 15, 20,000 people in the building and they're going crazy for him. So once again, so what? So what? Hogan was over like that too at one point, and it wasn't drawing good business. So what the hell does that mean? So were you, Trips? Remember the Reign of Terror?
Got a point.
But see, I can say whatever I want to on this podcast because I don't ever see myself ever going to WWE or working for WWE or wanting to work with WWE. I don't give a fuck. So I don't care.
I mean, you got a point there, but it goes back and it's kind of a double standard. And I say this because if this were Tony Khan in this situation, the internet will come down hard on this motherfucker, bro. Like he isn't getting it as hard as Tony Khan would. But it's the same situation. People want you to book the shows better.
Let's see what happens after Mania. Let's see what they get because he's getting it. He's getting the noise. Like that's why I think Triple H is lashing out the way he is.
I do too.
He's reading this shit. He sees this shit.
Yeah,
what people are saying. Because why all of a sudden now we should be coming out saying all this shit if
it's not
there wasn't some I mean, it's the truth, bro.
Yeah,
like the prices are too high. The merchandise prices. I mean, bro, $32 for a shirt.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's on
ridiculous.
sale.
Yeah. That is ridiculous. So it's like, why am I gonna? What's the point of me supporting this shit? Like, why am I gonna do that? Yeah, I'm gonna keep my Peacock subscription because I watch everything is on Peacock. I'm a Columbo fan. I like Columbo and all these different shows, so they're all on Peacock. So and I watch the archive shit, but it's crazy, bro. I remember back in the day in '96 when WWF was getting their ass handed to them by WCW, and Vince had $12 tickets. $12 tickets. That was the cheapest ticket you get into a house show or a Monday Night Raw taping was $12. That's where it was. Now you can't get into little kids can't watch wrestling because that's basically your mortgage payment or your rent. That's kind of what it's the elite.
Yep,
it's for the elite. It's for the elite, and it's for people who want to basically max out their credit cards to go see some wrestling.
Yep.
You go for basically for $2,500. You go yeet. Like
that's the truth, though.
Yeah, it's real talk.
That's real talk. It's hard to bring a family of people to a wrestling show these days.
Yeah, you can't. Like the little kids that like you would want to go take it to a show, can't do it, man.
Yep,
can't do it. It's too expensive. That's where AEW comes into play. Because AEW tickets are not extravagant like that. They're not price gouging or overcharging their fans. So that's where I think Tony Khan and AEW they could,
I
imagine that.
will say this episode of Dynamite, the one that just aired, phenomenal.
Okay.
And the crowd, it looked like, I don't know what that arena size was, but it looked big and it looked full. Tonight was a very good, and they were loud tonight. It was a
I tell
very
you.
good night.
Well, I'll tell you real quick, since we're on your AEW front real quick. I enjoyed the segment between FTR, Tony Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness on Collision.
Yeah,
I saw it on YouTube. I thought it was a good segment.
Great segment.
That was really
great
good.
segment. And they're following some things up, man. And on that front, I think Tony Khan has an opportunity here to build for real.
And I hope he does. I hope he does.
Really does.
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope that they're able to take what they have and build upon it and get some success out of it. You got All In Texas going to be coming up shortly. It'll be here before you know it. So you got to build up that momentum and drive their product. And I think the sky's the limit for them. I think they can actually rebuild. I don't know. I am not seeing anything right now. I watched some segments from Raw, and I mean the painfully obvious Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins uniting. It's obvious here, and it wouldn't surprise me that Paul Heyman is not aligned with John Cena and Seth Rollins as well, with The Rock, and all this shit will come out at Mania. Because like I said,
so the words "dangerous alliance" was brought up casually,
right?
And I think they may be going that route.
Yeah, whatever's going to happen here, it's going to be a devastating thing for Roman Reigns and devastation for CM Punk.
Yep.
But if you Dangerous Alliance came up, I've also read rumblings. I've heard NWO in some circles. I don't know how that would work exactly. But I do like the Dangerous Alliance concept. I do like that.
I like that a lot.
That was a hell of a stable in WCW.
I like that a lot.
Look at the people that was in there. You had Ravage Rick Rude was kind of the de facto leader of the group. Yep. Stunning Steve Austin, Larry Zbyszko, Arn Anderson, Beautiful Bobby, Medusa was in that group.
Yep.
It was a hell of a
stable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have names too for this version. Chief among them is Braun Breaker.
I think Braun is a babyface.
I think he is too.
So I think Braun. I don't think you need to put him in this. I think Cena, Rollins, Rock, Paul Heyman, and I honestly think you can maybe add a Solo and then Solo, Soko, and Tama Tonga into this as well. Because you need some workers.
Fold them in. Fold them in.
And you also you can bring in Hikuleo in this.
Debut him as the muscle. I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
That's what I would do. But that's obvious. There's something there between Rollins and Paul Heyman. It's obvious.
Oh yeah. It's so obvious that I'm like, they probably ain't gonna do this shit. but because they're making it too obvious. But if it is that obvious,
I'm with it.
I'm with it too. I'm just like, damn, they just making this obvious.
Because it's gonna be hard for people to boo Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's just he's too over, with the song and all that. He's just too over. Even when he's out there bashing Punk, he's still over.
Yep.
So it's like that's going to be interesting to see how they can get the people to boo him. They completely turn on Heyman though.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Really fast.
Yeah.
So that is one match that I'm actually looking forward to at WrestleMania.
What's the triple threat?
Yeah. I didn't think I would be, but I'm actually looking forward to it.
Yeah, but honestly, Seth Rollins kind of feels like a third wheel in this.
I
I think the match should have been Roman and Punk, and
It
Paul
should have
should
been
have
either
turned.
or.
Yeah, Paul would have turned on Reigns
Yeah.
and went with Punk. That's what it should have been. But now you add a new wrinkle to this, is Seth Rollins. But I think you're adding Seth Rollins into the mix here because I think going into the summer, you're gonna have a tournament for the WWE Championship, since John Cena most likely is going to win it and go home with the belt.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have a
Yeah.
champ. You're going to have a tournament. Then John Cena will come back and say, "I'm the real champion." That's what they're going. I think that's what they're going to go with. So we're going to see
John
the
Cena
summer
versus
of.
CM Punk.
I think no. I think John Cena versus whoever's going to be the champion is what's going to happen. But I think we're going to see Cody and Seth Rollins feud because Cody won the title last year with the help of Seth Rollins. Now this year he will lose it because of Seth Rollins. That's what I would do. That's what I would book.
Okay, so you have Seth turn night 1 and then help Cena win night 2.
No, I think you don't have to turn Seth. You have Heyman turn. But Heyman's a wild card. Heyman, okay, so here's the scenario. So if I'm writing the story, it's obvious there's something going on with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, but I'm not going to reveal this until night 2 at WrestleMania. Paul Heyman is going to come out at WrestleMania during the John Cena and CM Punk match, or John Cena and Cody Rhodes match. He's going to come to the ring, but people are like, what the hell is Paul Heyman doing there? What does he have to do with this? That's when you will see Seth Rollins come out there. Okay? You can have some bullshit going on, and you hear the final boss, Rock, comes out there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Seth Rollins. And remember last year, Seth Rollins came out there doing this match, right?
Yeah.
This time he's not there to help Cody Rhodes. He's there to hurt Cody Rhodes. So he takes Cody Rhodes out, allows Cena to get the 17 championship. Now the third person of this faction has been revealed, with the manager being Paul Heyman, that's leading this new stable, the Dangerous Alliance, whatever they want to call themselves. You don't you don't reveal anything at night 1.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
At night 1. Yeah, you do it at night 2. Night 1, everything goes off as normal. Paul Heyman just walks out. He's, I don't want anything to do with any of this. But
he shows up night 2.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And he is the liaison to the final boss. He speaks for the final boss. When the final boss isn't here, I speak for the final boss.
I'm moving quite on honestly, behalf of the final boss. Okay.
Quite honestly, listen, last year WrestleMania, you left me, Roman. You left me to the Tongans. You left me to Solo. You didn't give a damn about me. You didn't care about me. CM Punk, you walked out. When you walked out, you made it all about you. You didn't give a damn about me. There's only one person that gave a damn about me, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins told
Paul Heyman is Kaiser, so
yep. So that's what I would do.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yep, that's what I would do.
That is very well booked.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, whether they go that route
right
or not remains to be seen. But I like that idea. I like that a hell of a lot more than some of the other stuff that's going on. But something that I am really turning around on is Gunther versus Jay. I'm actually reinvested in that one. As much as it pains me that this is not the main event, I think the work that they've done has led me to be reinvested in it. They've done some great work the last couple of weeks. It's sad that match won't be a main event. It should be based off, and I think they hit the stride a little bit too late. But they hit the stride. It's enough for me to want to watch this match.
So I think we're kind of at the point of let's just get it over with.
Yeah, it is that, but the story they're telling, I like it.
Yeah,
I do like it a lot. But more than Mania, one thing I'm actually looking forward to is NXT Stand and Deliver.
So I haven't been following NXT, so I have no idea what's going on down there.
Man, NXT got some bangers on deck. They really do have some bangers on deck. So you have the former Ricky Starks, who changed his name to Ricky Saints.
Right.
He's going up against Ethan Page. You have a fatal four-way for the women's NXT title. Stephanie Vaquer. Is it Sol Daroka? Stephanie Vaquer. No, Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Jada Parker, and Jordan Grace. They're in the fatal four-way for the women's title.
So you got two of my favorites in there, which are Jordan Grace and Jada Parker.
Yep.
So,
bro, yeah. the vignettes that they did for these women on NXT, stellar, especially Jada Parker. And the way they talked about her upbringing, like her losing her uncle, she actually broke down crying during this vignette. Like they threw the mix on that motherfucker. And this, I'm thinking NXT Stand and Deliver is going to be the event of the weekend. I think they are really about to steal the entire weekend, just based off the matches they got. They have a women's ladder match for the women's North American title. The North American title, Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. There's a triple threat for the men's title, Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans, who has captivated the scene. I think we're about to get a whole bunch of call-ups, but I think they about to put on one fucking hell of a show before they leave.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it used to be a point in time where that was the norm for NXT to be out producing the
they gonna do it.
Shows. We'll see.
They will do it.
You planning on attending the NXT show or?
No, I have something else going on at the same time as that show. And it's like mad fucking early in the morning. It's like 9:00.
Yeah, that's what I was reading, that a lot of talents weren't happy about that because of how early it's starting.
It's super early.
Yeah.
So, but no, I got something else going on at the time. Speaking of Mania weekend, there's so much shit, man. It's so much shit. So I'm going to all the GCW events. GCW they got shit going on. So they had a WWE ID tournament that started today. That's gonna continue Friday. They got Joshi. They got Josh Barnett's Bloodsport is tomorrow. They got a midnight show that's for the culture. That's got a shit ton of people on it. The main event is Zilla Fatu versus somebody for a championship. But they got that. They got Defy. They got a whole bunch of shit just this entire weekend just lined up. So I'm going to hit as much of those as I can on top of the WWE shit that they got. And then I'm probably going to go to WWE World because I want to see what it looks like.
Cool.
And I'm gonna bring my shit, so I'll document while I'm there, and then I'll probably post it to the YouTube.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Yeah,
shit.
It's my first. It's not my first Mania, but it's my first Mania. Just doing all the other. I'm doing everything but Mania.
Right.
Because that shit's affordable.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's no point of breaking the bank.
Yeah. That's if it's affordable, I'm there. It's for me, and if I can get in that bitch for free, I'm going. So that's what I'm doing, and then I'm probably gonna hit. There's a couple places I know that are doing watch parties. There's a big one at Circa that I'm probably gonna go to. That one's a $40 entrance fee, but it's better. It's a seat. You can watch it. You can enjoy yourself. You get free drinks. I'm there. So
cool.
Yeah, man. But shit, let's get some predictions.
Let's do it.
Cena versus Cody. Let's do main event. Who you got?
I am gonna go with. I'm going to go with this finish. So, I believe Cody is going to win with a reversal by the final boss. I
What do you
see
mean?
some shenanigans being played here. I think he's going to legitimately beat Cena, but The Rock is going to reverse the decision and say the match will continue. That's where Seth Rollins comes into play.
Oh.
Yeah. So I am picking John Cena to win with help from the Dangerous Alliance, which is Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and The Rock. Travis Scott may be there as well.
Okay.
That's
Well, Travis Scott he was announced for Mania.
Okay.
So I'm thinking if he's announced, then The Rock's definitely gonna be there.
Well, hopefully he can, he won't be out there legitimately hitting people and
I think he's gonna get the shit kicked out of him.
Throws a work. I think he's out of receipt coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he knows that.
Yeah.
I think he understands the business.
Yep.
Just take it. Take your lump, dude.
Take your lump.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure he's got a receipt coming on the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna fuck him up.
But
yeah.
I dig the 4x4 track.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
And I would never have heard that song had it not been due to WWE. I never would have heard it.
Fair point.
Yep.
Fair point. All right, so let's go down this card. We got night 2 main event. Night 1 main event we already covered. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
I am going to pick Seth Rollins winning that match with an assist from Paul Heyman.
You know what? It's so obvious that I'm gonna pick CM Punk, but I do think Paul turns.
Paul turns either way.
Yeah, he turns either way.
You should see the way he was acting. He's like, "Oh well, Roman, he attacked Seth, and then he just went crazy." Like, yeah,
you never act like this, bro. Like,
never.
Come on,
never.
Come on, bro.
All of a sudden, now you're scared
now
of
I'm
Roman.
cowering. Yeah.
Come
on, my guy.
And notice Seth Rollins' attire he was wearing very shield-like,
very shieldish. Yep. Very.
I like it when they do shit like that. I like the throwbacks and the callbacks and stuff.
Yeah, it's
and
Blak.
The chair shot.
Yeah, and the chair shot.
And the chair shot. That's like Roman's like arch nemesis, the damn chair. It's like Superman has kryptonite, Roman Reigns has a steel chair.
The chair, yep.
Nobody can take a chair shot like Roman Reigns.
Yep. He sells.
We were there.
Remember
Sami Zayn, the Royal Rumble?
Sold it the same way.
Yep.
Yep. Like every single time, bro. If you got your back turned to somebody, you about to get hit. Come on now.
Yeah.
Chill. All right. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. I'm gonna go Tiffany Stratton on this one.
Shit. There's so much controversy right now with that.
Oh yes,
whether it's a work or a shoot.
I like that intrigue though.
I'm gonna go with Charlotte on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the queen.
All right. I'm not mad at that. I'm saying Tiffany because I think she has the people.
She does.
I think if Charlotte wins, that shit's gonna be nuclear. But hey, I'm here for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm here for it.
I mean, it would make sense for Charlotte to put her over, but
we don't
Tiffany's
do that.
Not there. Tiffany's not there yet.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
That promo, this whole build is kind of like, she may not be. May not be.
It's too much too soon, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She still has time though. She still got time.
She does.
It's too much too soon.
Yep, she does. All right, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. This is an easy.
Dude, they got to give it to Jacob.
Post.
They have to give it to Jacob. Yeah. They got the only way I see them not giving it to Jacob is some shenanigans happens where Tama and Solo accidentally cost Jacob the match.
Yep. Agreed. All right. Rey Mysterio versus I don't know why this is on there. This is probably going to be on the pre-show. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
I couldn't care less about this match.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Next,
Yeah.
Jay Cargill versus Naomi. Now this one,
Oh, did
I'm
you see
actually.
the tweet that Jay put out in the response that Naomi gave her?
Yep.
She said basically insinuating the only reason why Naomi has a big ass because she, went to the doctor and got shot for it, and then Naomi shot back and says the only shots I get is a back shots from Big Jim. So
Generation.
yeah. So I am gonna pick. I'm gonna have to pick Naomi for this one. It would make no sense for them to build her up and just to job her at Mania. This needs to continue. So I'm gonna
It
pick the
does.
first
It
one.
does.
I'm picking the first one to be. I'm gonna pick the first one to give it to Naomi.
I'm gonna go that route too, just because I know they need to build it more.
Yep.
We may have shenanigans on play for this one too.
Oh yeah.
All right. War Raiders versus the New Day.
Give it to my guys. New Day.
Absolutely.
They kind of
Absolutely.
squandered their heel turn somewhat.
Yep.
So, but what the hell do I know?
It's that whole European tour. They were barely featured.
Well, I mean, it was before that though, but they were barely.
Yeah,
featured,
it was before that. They turned them heel, and then they didn't really do anything with them, and then they went to Europe, and then they didn't use them.
Yeah. So I'd say give it to my guys. New Day, they deserve it.
Yep. And then you can build again.
Yep.
Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Oh boy.
So, from what I get, this match is actually starting the show.
Okay, well, they've done that before. I remember, what was it, WrestleMania 27? It was The Miz versus John Cena in the main, but Edge versus Alberto Del Rio for the world title started the show.
Yep.
So, Jey Uso has to win this.
I agree.
If he doesn't win this,
he can't come back.
You've killed him off pretty much.
Yeah, he can't come back from a loss.
Yeah. You've killed him if he don't win.
He cannot come back from. I will repeat this: he cannot come back from a loss at WrestleMania to go.
It'll be done. Yeah, it'll be done.
Yeah, it'll be done.
That literally will be the end of Jey Uso.
It'll be done. I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all Saturday. So all of this is Saturday. Sunday, they're starting off with the triple threat for the Women's World Championship. Rhea versus Io versus Bianca.
I am picking Bianca to win the championship with help from Naomi.
I am with that.
I think Bianca's going to finally turn.
Get the heel turn. And she's been acting more heelish.
Yeah.
And they've been treating her more heelish. Lean into
Dude,
that.
did you see the picture that Rhea Ripley posted the other day? My God.
100% grade A.
Fire. Shit.
100% grade A. Buddy Matthews, you a lucky motherfucker, bro.
You sure are. Yeah.
Lucky motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm picking Bianca too.
Yeah.
Fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is
Judgment Day involvement. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll be honest with you. I dig Braun Breaker. I really like Braun.
I do too.
But I think Finn deserves it. I'd like to see Finn get a run because here's a guy.
As Intercontinental Champion?
As IC Champion, yeah. I think he deserves it. I really do.
Okay.
I think that, Finn never got his heat back for dropping that. I mean, the guy was the first ever Universal Champion.
And you wouldn't know it unless somebody mentions it.
Yeah. He had the ruby red belt. So, the fruit robot belt is what we call it. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm just gonna go with. Even though I think Finn Balor deserves it, I'm picking Braun Breaker to retain.
I'm gonna go out on a limb myself. I'm gonna pick Dominic Mysterio, sneaking away with this shit.
Yeah, but I honestly think that would make Braun look real weak.
You think so?
But
if he don't eat the pin,
if you don't eat the pin, I think you're gonna see some shenanigans though between the new
that
the
match
Judgment
has
Day.
shenanigans.
That
That match has
what it is. Yeah.
shenanigans in it.
I think it's gonna come down to honestly, it's gonna come down to Finn and Braun Breaker, and you can see Dominic either steal it or he cost Finn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either or.
Yeah. Because I think Finn is much more suited anyways as a babyface. I think once they go back to that, I think he'll be super over.
I agree. Agreed. All right. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
I honestly I got no comment on that one. I'm not a Logan Paul fan.
Me neither.
Can't get with
However,
I'll pick AJ Styles.
I'm picking AJ Styles. However, Logan Paul's new finishing move is fucking fire.
I don't care what the guy does.
I like it.
It's like
it's
like when Trump was at his address and says it doesn't matter what he does, they'll never like me. Well, that's the same thing with Logan Paul. Doesn't matter what he does, I will never like him. It is what it is.
Right.
Some things are just not forgivable.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair point. This is an interesting one because I don't know if this match is actually going to happen, but it's still scheduled. A Sin City street fight with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre.
Oh, it's happening.
It's going to happen.
I think it's going to happen, yeah. And I'm picking Drew McIntyre.
If it happens, I'm going to pick Damian Priest.
My God, though, have they lost momentum?
Yeah, they have.
How do you squander Priest and McIntyre? Like, if you want to think about it, if you want to think about this situation, bro, Roman and Drew McIntyre should have been in a WrestleMania match. They should have had a few going on. Because wasn't Drew McIntyre talking about he was going to stop and destroy every member of the bloodline until he got to Roman?
And then it stopped.
And then it's like they stopped it, like pivoted away from that.
Yep.
That's WrestleMania. WrestleMania card would have looked a little bit different. It would have been CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and you would have had Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns.
Yep.
So I would have went.
It should have been that.
Yeah. But like I said before, this card is basically resembling WrestleMania 2000 to me.
No, it is. There's a lot of multi-man matches.
Yeah.
A lot. Speaking of that, a women's tag team championship match, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Why this match is happening, I don't know.
I don't know, but you know what? I have grown to actually appreciate Liv Morgan. So
her and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yeah, I actually like them too. So I'm gonna pick them. I'm a Bayley fan, of course, but I'm gonna pick these two to go over.
I'm gonna pick these two, and I think Bayley's turning.
I think Lyra's gonna turn on Bayley.
That could happen too.
Yeah,
that can happen too.
Yeah,
I think that one's more likely. Lyra needs heat.
Yeah,
she needs heat. I agree with that. That's the co-main. The main event. Cody versus John, which we talked about.
Yep.
Shenanigans at play.
But ultimately, John Cena gets number 17. Woo!
I agree. I definitely agree. But that's the Mania card. Special start time of 4 p.m. I actually like that a lot.
Yeah.
I actually like that a whole bunch. because it allows me to do other shit.
Right.
But it's gonna be a busy weekend and love it. But 4 o'clock is when it starts. Real quick before we wrap up, before we get into the final thoughts, I want to get into one of the GCW. So I told you there's a match out there, or a card out there on the GCW that's crazy. And it's called Heels Have Eyes for the Culture. So let's look at this card, bro, because this shit it's ridiculous. So it's sponsored by Fourth Rope. Let me see if I can find this card. Hold on 1 second. It's a crazy ass card, and it's that shit starts at midnight on Friday. So my plan is go. They got like 4 GCW shows that day. I'm going to all 4 of them. Yeah, I'm going to all 4 of them.
That's a lot of wrestling.
That is a lot of wrestling. Let me see if I can find this card. Damn it.
Well, while you're doing that, in the meantime, I'm going to do some plugs here real quick. So,
go ahead, sir.
Everybody out there listening right now, all right, don't forget D Vader Cosplay on Instagram. All right, D Vader Cosplay on Instagram. That is where you can find the latest from your boy. I'm going to start posting some stuff. I did a cool video the other day, dressed up in my Vader outfit. And it was basically the Emperor has sent an alternative solution. And it was me in the costume. And I will be posting that video very shortly to my Instagram. So,
that's awesome.
That. Also, listen, we're not monetized on YouTube yet. Okay, we got to get those watch hours up. But I did notice somebody else was doing this, so I'm going to put this out there. You don't have to do it, but I'm going to put it out there. If you like what we do here on this show, okay, if you want to donate to your boy, I'm sure Blak has one as well, you can actually Cash App your boy, all right? So you can send it to FDC38 on Cash App. That is the Cash App of your boy here, D Vader Cosplay. FDC38 is where you can find me if you want to donate something, if you like the content. Because like I said before, we are not monetized. We make nothing, but we do all this content for free. So if you want to help out your boys, you want to put a little something and invest in your boys here, invest in the No Gamers Podcast, Cash App, $, FDC38 at Cash App. That's where you can get your boy up.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. So let's get into it because I found the card.
Cool.
All right. So they're going to start off with the Fourth Rope Flyweight title battle royal. In this battle royal is Nick Nemeth, Kenny King, Elijah Burke, John Wayne Murdoch, Ryan Nemeth, Enzo, who goes by Real One, Brian Keith, Mance Warner, Isaiah Bronner, Joe Alonzo, Kevin Blackwood, Cha-Cha Charlie, Kevin Knight, AJ Francis, Odyssey, EJ Nduka, who is a fucking stud, Mo Jabari, and then they have 3 wild card picks. We don't know who that is yet. Then you have a singles match between Matt Riddle and Gabe Kidd. Then you have a tag team title match between the Hardys and a team to be announced. So another surprise. Then you have a 3-way between Mustafa Ali, Leon Slater, and Trevor Lee, who was in WWE under a different name. I forget his name, but he's been going by Trevor Lee for so long. Then you have a singles match between Tiara James and Maya World. Shout out to Maya World. And then the main event is Zilla Fatu versus Josh Bishop in a steel cage for the GCW title.
That's very interesting. One of the names that struck out to me from that list was Elijah Burke.
Yeah, he's active this whole weekend. He's at a lot of
crazy.
events.
Because the last time I heard anything about him, it was in TNA. He was the Pope.
Yep, but he's active this whole weekend.
Cool. Now, there's a guy right there that should have went further than what he did.
Yes. But yeah, man, this card for the culture is it's insane.
Yeah.
And for it to be at midnight is even more insane.
And I'm pretty sure they're gonna rock the place because Vegas never sleeps.
Never. And people gonna be good and lit too coming to this shit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just gonna be crazy. That one I'm gonna make sure I blog.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I blog that one. Because that's
we'll get some interviews with some of the talent.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Yeah. I hope I know I've been seeing people bump into folks, so hopefully I get to talk to some folks and
cool.
Get some interviews. So yeah, man. But excited for the weekend. Mania is always it's a big event, even if you're not going to Mania like me. There's a whole bunch of events that you can go to. There's something for everybody, no matter what your flavor is. So on that note, I'm excited. I'm ready to get there and ready to see the sights.
Cool. Hope you have fun doing that.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you out there and meet some talents. Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
And with that, let's go to our final shots and thoughts. All right. So with me being in Vegas, there's no smoke pit this week. Actually, there may be a replacement. Eat the Cake Anime will be in our spot for smoke pit this week. So if you like anime, tune in to Eat the Cake Anime. They will be streaming on the DFPN channel. Make sure you guys tap in and enjoy what they got. They give some great recommendations for anime to watch, even if you're not into it. There are some good anime out there, and this crew will lead you to some great anime. What they've recommended, I've been watching, and I can tell you they haven't given me a bad one yet. So tune into the show. Even if you don't like anime, I'm pretty sure you're going to be entertained. There's great conversations, and you may end up finding the show that you like. So they'll be on Friday in the regular time for the Smoke Pit. That's 8 p.m. Eastern on the DFPN channels. Make sure you guys tune in. And with that, I'm going to be going to Vegas. I'm going to go get ready. Frank D, what you got?
Same old people out there. Once again, D Veda Cosplay on Instagram. That's where you can find your boy. We post some stuff there, cosplay stuff. Gonna be posting some stuff I've been 3D printing. I actually 3D printed a gold medal of Yavin the other day from episode 4. So got that going on. Once again, help control the pet population, have a pet spayed or neutered, especially those of you out there in Las Vegas.
Yes.
What else is there? Once again, hey, Cash App your boy, FDC 38. If you want to donate to the cause, okay. Frank D would appreciate that. No Gamers would appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
We put a lot of stuff and a lot of a lot of creative goes into these shows and a lot of time goes to these shows. And like I said before, we're not monetized. And hey, listen, who wants to do it for free? I'm just keeping 1,000. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But other than that, I got nothing else. Star Wars Celebration is this week as well in Japan.
Nice.
A lot of people are already out there that I know are going to be out there. And I was supposed to be spreading some news, but I did get the approval yet to do that, so they didn't make the show. But also, people out there into cosplaying. Very shortly, I am going to be producing a podcast with a friend of mine named the Canadian Vader. And we're going to be talking about the Rogue One Darth Vader. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about everything that went into the creation of that costume and the fact that that was a last-minute addition to the movie. Vader was not originally supposed to be in that movie. That was a last-minute addition, and everything that went into that, including there's a reason why we call him the hot mess Vader, and we're gonna talk about that. Yeah, basically, the Vader that. Hey, do you have parts? Do you have anything we can use? that type of Vader. That's what happened. So we're gonna talk about all that stuff. And this guy is like he's like me when it comes to Darth Vader. We have OVD, So
Love it.
It's gonna be pretty cool when we get it going here. It's just he's a Canuck, so we gotta get the time right. And but we're gonna make it happen here on the DFPN, and can't wait to bring that to you. Talk about Rogue One Vader, which is obviously something I'm passionate about, is Darth Vader and Star Wars in general. So it should be a lot of fun.
Right on, brother. Right on. Well, I got nothing else. If you got nothing else, we can wrap this up, man.
We can wrap it up, put a bow on it. The Don Dada is done. Finito.
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 All right, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 92. We are 8 episodes away from our landmark episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, until next time, enjoy what you want to enjoy. Take care of each other. Peace.
And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmick. Yeah. And I know it's all business, all business, all business. We give them no gimmicks, gimmicks.